not funny.
Colin.
It's going rogue left and right, man.
And Mike, the Ape Man.
Oh my goodness gracious.
PTR Radio.
You ready to kick ass?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. That's right, we're here. We happen to be live. It happens to be a Monday. It is the end of July, and it is hot outside. He's very warm.
I think you're lying.
We're going to get you caught up on everything that we did in between now and the last show. We're going to talk about the evil machine overlords, and we're gonna take on a list. We're gonna take on some women's complaints brought up through therapy. But first, Mike, we're gonna deal with a topic that you brought up: Skittles. Evidently, tasting the rainbow can lead to death.
Skittles are evil. They're killers. That's all there is. Tasting the rainbow. So I don't know how true this is, but that is for the courts to decide, I guess. There has been a lawsuit filed against the Mars company. People, stop asking me about cookies already.
Stop asking. Oh, yeah. I love every single site now says, hey, you want some cookies? I got a van.
Say, no.
I got a van. It's some good cookies.
I am a grown-ass man. I don't need your cookies. Listen. So, apparently, these people claim that there are heightened levels of titanium dioxide in Skittles. And
what is a heightened level of titanium? What is a recommended level of? I've never seen the FDA tell me what my recommended daily level of titanium dioxide is.
Okay, so it's funny you say that, Shaggy, because a spokesperson from Mars told NBC's Today program that while we do not comment on pending litigation, our use of titanium dioxide complies with FDA regulations. So apparently there are regulations about how much titanium dioxide can appear in your food. And these people are saying that it is more than that. But they're also saying, and this is the part that I have no idea what they're talking about, there's a synthetic substance and E number, E171, that is heavily regulated and exceeds the limits set by the FDA. The problem here is that they're claiming that particular ingredient has the ability to change DNA. They're calling it genotoxicity.
Wait a second. I hear words like titanium dioxide and change DNA, and I think I'm going to be a superhero. I am going to be like Captain Steel. You know? I'm going to be Titano. You know, the next Avenger. Is that going to be me?
No.
If I fall into a vat of liquid Skittles, am I going to get some kind of cool power? Like, well, kind of like Captain Planet. Maybe can a rainbow just fly out of my hands?
It depends. Which COVID vaccine did you have? J&J or an mRNA? Because your DNA may already be altered.
I had the Pfizer because I wanted the 5G.
Yeah, the 5G. See, that's important. True story. A neighbor was out there talking to another neighbor, and this is the one that posts up all this stuff that she's like 5G radiation is what caused COVID. I'm not even. I can't even make this shit up. So she starts walking over towards the house. I told Kim, I said, if she rings our doorbell, you open that door and you tell her that I work for a company that is rolling out 5G. So I am highly radioactive. I don't want her near our house.
Well, right. I don't know why, but suddenly in my Facebook feed, all I get now are those Wi-Fi limiter cages, you know, that go on top of your router. that
of course.
really is just
I don't know why.
a paper holder. I have no idea why they show up on my Facebook feed all the time now, but I get them. And I'm like, I don't want this $90 paper holder.
I agree. So anyway, issue with the story here. Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't understand. So there is an FDA regulation for titanium dioxide. It says shall conform to the following specifications. So now I'm all confused. Lead, not more than 10 parts per million. Arsenic, it's mentioned all this other stuff, and then it says titanium dioxide, not less than 99% after drying for 3 hours at 105 degrees Celsius. Well, what?
Okay, so
Please,
titanium
you're smarter than
dioxide
me.
has for years been thought of as just being completely non-toxic. They figured out if you make it into a dust and then breathe it, then it might be carcinogenic, according to what they tested with some rats. But nearly anything breathed into your lungs can cause cancer, just by being there.
So sniffing my Skittles makes it carcinogenic.
Yeah, don't turn them into a powder and then snort them. Yes, that seems to be.
But that is the best way to get to the rainbow.
Okay, but what is this E171?
That's just the code for titanium dioxide.
Okay. Did not know that part.
Well, Mike, I don't give a whole lot of credence to this article that you sent. Mainly because along the right-hand side, where it says other popular articles, there is a link to one that says man who spent thousands to look like black alien can't get job because of body modifications. And just so that our users can know I'm, the caliber of the reporting, here is what that picture looks like.
Okay, and we've talked about this guy before. This is a real dude.
We talked about black alien dude. I know we've talked about Enigma before, but I didn't know we talked about black alien guy. So, the joe.co.uk online news repository. I'm not sure what their credibility is. Oh, he chopped off his thumb. Yeah. Oh.
All I know is I probably will avoid Skittles from now on.
I suggest Reese's.
If so, just an example. M&Ms. So E300. Mm-hmm. That was a very dangerous chemical. If you have too much of E300, then that can cause death.
Ooh, is that chocolate?
No, it's vitamin C.
Ah, okay.
Okay, well, the one that I really want to know about is E1101. Because that's some important stuff. And that was the roadmap to saving Cedar Creek, Iowa. Okay? E1101, that's the important one. So if I can get that wholesale,
I'm a big
then I'll eat Skittles because that will cover it.
Yellow dye number 9.
Yellow. Oh God, please don't. Please. We don't want to go down there. We don't want to go down that road because I know people who swear that red dye number 7 is the reason their child needs special education.
No, it was brown number 2. That's why their child needed special education.
That's why they got rid of the brown M&Ms.
So anyway, if you are new to the show, this is basically how it goes. We bring up a topic, we talk about it for a little while, we listen to you maybe chime in on the different avenues. You got the Facebooks, you got the Twitter, you got the Twitch, you got the YouTubes. We're listening on all those. All you got to do is just chime along with the conversation, and you can get your couple minutes of fame. Mike is watching out for those, and can pop them up on the screen or play so that your voice can be heard. Now, Mike, we talked about how hot it is everywhere, but I guess in the UK they're breaking records.
Oh yeah, and they don't all have air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, they don't
heat pumps.
Yeah, they don't believe in it over there.
Well, I don't even have heat pumps.
I think it's communist.
So we broke a record 2 days ago locally. We hit 100 degrees, which broke a 24-year-old record. However, some of these pictures, and I don't know, how does this work? Are we allowed to show the pictures as we discuss them? And
well, a lot of these are social media posts, so I think we're okay there.
Okay, because so if you're not watching us, if you're only listening on the podcast, we'll try to explain. But Shaggy found an article that has 32 pictures that show how hot the UK is getting right now, and I gotta tell you, I do not envy them.
Yeah,
at all.
I'm waiting for them to load because, well, they're social media pictures, so they're slow. But there's pictures such as like a candle and a candlestick outside on a table, basically needing Viagra. It's limped over so badly.
Okay, and that one I have to question because if it's that hot that that it got that soft for the candle to flip over, why didn't the candle just melt into? How did it fall over that way and not disperse?
You know, I kind of agree. I kind of agree. I don't know why it wouldn't have just done that.
Some of these I'm not. Yeah, I am not a denier of the temperature, but I have to question.
I have to question, what exactly is that candle supposed to be made of?
Curds and whey. So here is, just for example, here is a heat wave map, of the UK, just to give you a great idea. So it's all covered in Fs. This is where all the Fs that you don't give are. They've all moved here.
And perhaps you may have just won the internet with that comment.
So, and not only that, but, like everywhere when you experience high heat, you also experience high fire. Lots of fires.
Yeah.
Lots of roadside fires.
That part's no joke because we've got forest fires going. It's weird. Like you'll hear about forest fires for like a day or two, and unless they're hitting like the Hollywood Hills, then you don't hear about them anymore.
Yeah.
Supposedly,
all these pictures. Yeah.
So here's one of the road basically melting, which we have lots of experience with that around here. The road exploding and or melting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, basically what I was saying was a lot of these pictures were like, that's every day in the summer around here.
Yeah. So here again,
I will never forget years and years ago, my cousin was getting married and the brides and bridesmaids all got ready at our house, and it was so hot when they went to the limo they couldn't walk in our blacktop driveway because their heels were sinking into the blacktop. And thankfully, full church wedding, full church mass. This may have been the last one I ever went to. Why? Because I was scarred for life because the damn air conditioning broke. I digress.
Oh.
So
our ex co-host Nate, same thing. On his wedding day, the church's air conditioning broke. So
Hell
here,
no.
Kids in school having their feet in tubs of water because it was so hot in the school.
I see some of those ankles and think, man, that's like having fish soup and that could be some nastiness happening there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
they should go ahead and dump some disinfectant in there too, and actually have their feet be clean for once.
They probably have a lot of hand sanitizer that they could. Guess what? It works on feet too, people.
Here's one.
This one,
great.
Yeah. So the shades around the traffic lights are, I guess, plastic, and they're melting. But here's my question, and maybe this is just me being silly. I thought the traffic lights in the UK were different than the ones in the US. That looks red, yellow, and green in the same order. And for some reason, I thought the UK either had a different order or a different color.
I don't know about that.
I could very well be wrong, and I may be thinking of somewhere else.
Someone's sticker.
I think traffic lights are mostly standardized across the world. There are differences, like you can't turn right on a red in UK, or almost anywhere other than the US.
So trash bins becoming more pliable and therefore denting and buckling easier.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
I don't know that one's melting. Now this one I do definitely, kind of. I mean, here it wouldn't happen here because we have metal road signs. But if there are in fact plastic road signs, I can see where that would, bend a lot easier.
Yeah.
So then someone's flip-flops broke. Okay, I don't know that is necessarily... this is Reddit post. Here we go. Someone... Umbrellas are out, yet not a cloud in sight. That's Europe for you.
Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Here.
Bending candles, yeah. I don't understand.
I'm not sure either. Here, rose petals burning on the edges. Okay, I get that. That makes sense.
Okay,
I can kind of get with that one. Now, this one, the guy who leaves eggs in a pan outside. At least it's a representation of what might actually happen rather than it, cooking the eggs. Them merely drying out.
Oh, Blair saying sometimes traffic lights are horizontal, and that wreaks havoc on the colorblind. Yes, that is correct. And also, as I'm thinking about it, right turn on red in Britain would be a problem because you'd be crossing.
Or left turn on red, yeah, good point. But yeah, left turn on red.
Oh, and also this talks about it. So they're lining their windows with aluminum foil, which has been a redneck trick for a long time.
Hold on. Let's stop for 1 second, okay? That's just turning your house into a freaking Jiffy Pop. Because not only does it does reflect the heat out, but most windows do have a UV glaze to them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's keeping heat in. All you're trying to do is make your head explode if you do that.
You're trapping the 5G that's in the house.
Exactly.
But because of this, there's been a shortage of aluminum foil in the UK.
Well, there's already been people making hats out of it, so
yeah.
The egg thing, that one,
the egg thing,
the foil thing too. I think depending on where your house is, the foil thing, you might actually be like get a knock on the door, like, "Hey, you're reflecting into the street, and you could kill somebody,
it's blinding someone."
I looked it up because I was curious. There's a lot of pictures of those trash bins melting in Arizona and stuff too.
Yeah, I bet
those trash bins melt to 251 degrees Fahrenheit. So,
yeah.
That's someone.
My guess is they had to put. There's something in the trash can that is causing a reaction.
Yes, that
with the
can
heat.
happen. You've got something on fire. Yeah.
So
more likely.
Here's one where a beer popped open. Now I'll tell you what.
Well,
will
that's what
do
happens. Now, see, that happens because they drink their beer warm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what will happen is if you leave a thing of canned air in your car, that causes all kinds of issues. That happened to me. I left the thing.
What does it do?
It explodes. The top melt basically. It's the pressure relief on the top, and so then the can goes bing 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 all over the car, and I'm just lucky I didn't come out to a broken window. somehow it just bounced around the wheel well or the footwell of the passenger side and busted through the little, the separator between the driver's side and the passenger side and gave this big hole after it had basically thrown paper everywhere that was in my back seat.
Oh,
I left a whole stick, a brand new stick of deodorant in a hot car. My previous car. Yeah, it melted. It was in the seat, so it melted into the seat. I had to keep cleaning it, and every couple weeks there'd be a new layer of crystals on the leather that I'd have to clean off again. It was wonderful.
So I have taken been very attentive not to leave anything on the seats in my new truck because it's got the vented seats, and I do not want anything melting into those pores.
It was a vented seat, so yeah, it was in the pores.
Yeah.
So here's a piece of glass that just decided it had enough, and so it was going to just shatter.
So, Mike, I'm curious, because there's where you are. Do you have vertical or horizontal lights?
Vertical. The traffic lights? Yeah, vertical.
The difference is whether or not you're more likely to have snow or a hurricane.
Okay, so horizontal lights are hurricane?
Yep.
Okay.
Because if you're in a snow area and you have horizontal lights, then that's the place for snow just to pile up on top of.
Yeah.
So you have.
Okay.
Makes sense. That's why we have vertical, so there's less area on top for snow to mound on.
Okay.
But if you have winds coming sideways from a hurricane, then you turn it on its side so you have less wind resistance.
So here's one that I totally get if you were to leave them in, dish pods, they would melt.
Yeah.
Here's somebody with just a spray gun spraying bicyclers.
Okay.
Here's somebody trying to make some money a minute in their walk-in fridge, 5 pounds a person. That is somebody who's hustling. There's another candle.
And does not care about their food.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a good idea. It's not health and safety wouldn't be okay with that. Here's good old farmer's tan, a ginger, and of course Brits still having their hot tea.
Oh yes, because that's actually drinking a hot liquid cools you off.
Okay.
Don't know why. I think as long as you are in an area where it's not too humid, it does.
That's okay. That's the key.
So
I think, yeah.
So those
hot
were
liquids
some
in
examples.
Louisiana, for example, and probably not a good idea.
So those were some examples of how the UK is being hit hard by the heat. I tell you what, I was at a baby shower on Saturday, and it was outdoors, 100 degrees.
I'd be like, no, you guys can have another baby next year, right? Because I'm out.
100 degrees, and it was humid.
It was kind of miserable.
The humidity. I mean, forget it. This weekend we hit hundreds, or we were in the high 90s pretty much all weekend. It didn't get cooler than 87 at night, but the humidity was down around 20%. So it wasn't terrible, right? You could spritz yourself with water and it would work. When it's 70% humidity, which is how it normally is when it's hot around here, that misting does nothing.
Yeah.
Like you hear people talking about like misting around like your outside unit for your central air and how that makes it more efficient. No, not in New Jersey where your humidity's. There's no place for that water, that moisture to go. All it does is soak into your unit and rust stuff faster.
Yeah.
Arizona, that might make sense, but then again, Arizona, y'all got West Coast has water supplies. Like have you guys seen the videos on YouTube of Lake Mead? The people like exploring Lake Mead?
I've seen, I think we talked about on the last show that they're pulling bodies out of it that they hadn't been able to see before, and that it's historic lows. Yeah,
it's just getting worse and worse. They're kind of at the point, like they're talking like, California, where are y'all going to get your water from? Because we're reaching a point where those intakes are no longer functioning.
Well, yeah, and from a power generation standpoint, it's gotten worse. So yeah, it's it's not looking good.
Now, I'm gonna say this, not to start a whole debate on it, but I am gonna say I almost had to throat punch somebody when they were talking about this, and they're like, "Oh well, hopefully they can build those turbines faster." And listen to me, they're not going to build wind turbines fast enough to get over how the Hoover Dam is running out of power now. Mm-mm. It's not like they don't have them sitting in a warehouse like in a Rector set that they can just plop them where they need to be.
No.
Let's be real clear about that one.
No. No. But all right. So moving on.
So our humidity right now is it's a very nice 59%. But on the days when it's hot, it's usually about 90. So we're hitting 100 degrees, 90% humidity. It's just or 100.
Here's the other thing that's been. So they've been teasing us about thunderstorms for the past 3 or 4 days, like severe thunderstorms coming. And then like an hour before they're supposed to hit, all of a sudden it's just like poof, dries up. Nope, sorry, missed you. We're on alternating water use days now. So we can only water our front lawn. Forget it. Our front lawn. We don't keep our front lawn's dead. We're done with it. It's brown. We ain't bringing it back. We ain't watering, but can only water on even days because our address is an even number. And they keep saying, "Oh, well, it's going to rain. It's going to rain." No, there's no rain. It's constantly missing us. We were supposed to have severe thunderstorms tonight, and I guess they missed us again.
Ugh.
Yeah. Now we don't have that problem. We're at full pool, and we have been at least the last couple of years. So we have no water restrictions because we're actually releasing water.
Yeah,
Mike, they're lucky.
You want us to send you some water? We'll bottle it up.
Can you? I was gonna say, can you dehydrate it first? It ships easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Yeah, you're right. It's
okay.
A lot smaller.
Okay.
So, speaking of complainers, so there was I put a link in, but I realized it's just mostly a video, and and she's only talking about one thing, and that doesn't give us a list. So I pulled up another list. But marriage therapist says the number one complaint that she has is regarding the division of household duties. That's what she sees as the number one complaint. Now, Mike, you and I are married, and Colin, you live with a married couple. Mike, do you and your wife argue about who's supposed to do what?
We don't argue about who's supposed to do what, but you will often hear her complain that I don't offer to do things, or I don't offer assistance.
Well, let me ask you this.
So-
Let's see if you do the thing that I do. If you do something
What do
that
you
you
do?
weren't asked to do you then go, hey, I did this, so that you can claim, a victory?
No.
Like,
I'm a little more douchey about it.
I figured that was super douchey.
No.
Because I go, hey, hon,
no.
hon, I brought those dishes
Chal-
up for you. You didn't have to tell me
No.
about it.
No, challenge accepted. Listen, I will, if I'm in that kind of mood, I'll know that there's something that she is getting ready to do, like let's just say vacuum, and I will start vacuuming.
Ooh.
So like kind of beat her to the punch, just knowing that she said she was gonna do it. And as I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing that it's probably a mind game that she plays. Like, oh, well, I gotta get him to vacuum, so I'm just gonna let him think he won this round. And that's probably why she hasn't killed me in my sleep yet. So yeah.
Nah, see, I don't do anything big like that. The little things, like, hey, yeah, I brought those clothes downstairs for you. That you're gonna wash and fold and put away. I brought them down. I brought the dirty ones down. I didn't sort them or nothing, but I put them in a basket and I brought them down for you to do everything else.
We notify each other that things that we all knew needed to get done was done, just so someone doesn't get up and like, oh, I'm gonna go do that, and then find it's already done. So notification is fine. Expecting praise.
Oh no! I want her to say, "Oh, thank you." Thank you for doing that.
Notification in your house. I know you guys in your house. Yes, notification is fine. In our house, it goes like, by the way, that thing that you want me to do? Well, I did it. Okay, and I also did this. So don't do it because I already did it.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, that's a conversation that happens because my wife will ask me to do stuff, and she'll admit to this too. It drives me nuts to this day, but she'll ask me to do something, and I'll be in the middle of a level of Plants vs. Zombies on my phone. And I'm like, I gotta wait. I gotta finish this level. As soon as I'm done with this level, I'll take care of it. 2 minutes tops. I get up, I finish the level, I'm done, I put my phone down, I get up, she's doing it. Why? Because those 2 minutes, the window closed.
Oh God.
And that one.
Yeah, she couldn't wait for you to do that. But meanwhile, you say, okay, it's time to go.
I'm not. No, there's no.
You say, okay,
there's
hon,
no
it's time to
meanwhile.
go. Okay, I just got to go do this and this and this. And then she's
No.
futzing on
There's
her
no
phone.
meanwhile.
She's futzing on her phone. And you're just
No
sitting there going,
meanwhile
we
on
got to
that
go.
one.
We got to go. We got to go. We were supposed to be there 10 minutes
There was
ago. We got to go.
No.
It-
So,
it's amazing.
Do you want to go through this list, or do you want to just keep digging graves for ourselves here? You want to go through this list?
Well, I think we're going to do both. So top 20 complaints from unhappy wives. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, what do I always say to her when she does that? I'm like, you play too much. You know that, right? You play too much. She's always joking around, trying to like.
Mm-hmm. So
anyway,
here's
That's number 3. We're jumping ahead.
Here's number 1. He never helps around the house. I think we've proven we do. Number 2, it's only applicable towards one of us right now. He doesn't know anything about the kids. All right.
Well, no, I'll apply this to the
dogs.
pets, like the dogs and the cats. Like Kim's like, if I died, would you know how to feed them? I would like they would get fed. I can't guarantee I'm going to do it the same way you do, but they'll eat.
Yeah. They may not live as long, but they will live.
No,
There may be lots of onions and grapes involved.
You know.
Well, no, that's not.
There's no energy grapes in the
Oh, okay.
house.
Wait. Yeah, okay. I'll tell you about this is the new thing, the belly button game. So I'll just be standing there, and she'll just go like this. And her goal is to find my belly button and poke it. Try to get that's the belly button game. You only get one try per day. And I think her record is like one for 29 or 1 for 31 or something like that. She's only been successful one time. All right. Anything about the kid? Okay, what?
Okay.
Oh,
Next one. He's always playing video games.
I'm not always playing video games, okay? Sometimes. It's not like I have an Xbox, or I don't. I play stupid games on my phone.
Yeah. Next one. We have the same argument every damn day.
What do you want to eat for dinner?
Oh my God. I hate that question. I hate that question with a passion. I absolutely. Guess what? I don't care. I honestly could care less. At this point, I don't even care if I starve to death. I just don't want to answer that question.
So we don't argue about it. It just takes forever to reach a consensus sometimes.
You know why I don't want to answer that question? Because I don't know what is ready to eat. I have no concept of what is in the fridge and what could be prepared. You know who does? She does. I don't know.
Okay. Well, see, and there's a difference here. My stomach is a little better, more tolerant, or I am less like if I'm craving something specific, I will tell her, I want pizza tonight. I want a cheesesteak tonight. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I don't. You tell me. I'll find something no matter where we go.
See, the problem is I'm a fat guy. So I want fat guy food every night. If I had my druthers, I would be 1,000 pounds. So the safest answer for me is I don't care. Because it means
what do you want for dinner
keep
tonight?
Me skinny.
I want something carbon-based. Thank you.
You know?
Yeah.
Usually when she
what do you want for dinner
replies,
tonight? I would like I would like a salad. Can we I would like a Waldorf salad or perhaps maybe I would like eggs Benedict for dinner tonight. No.
Yeah.
It's
I usually say I would like something in the solid and liquid forms, please. You know? No
Okay.
gas, no plasma.
Number 5, he drinks too much. No.
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 No, don't have
Nope.
that problem. His family drives me
6.
nuts. Well, okay.
No.
I got that one. Can't do anything about it.
Oh, God.
He always brings calorie bombs into the house. Okay. So
I have been told that I shouldn't be putting as much snacks in the cart when we go shopping. I admit that.
Mm-hmm.
I admit that.
Well, see, my wife
I
brings
wouldn't
them
call
in.
them calorie bombs.
My wife brings them in because they're for the grandkids. Like,
But see,
the problem is if they're here, I'll eat them.
Well, yeah.
If they're here, they're for me because I bought them.
I mean, if I had it my way, you know, I would be getting the cookies at BJ's. But you know, the problem is they don't sell cookies at BJ's in containers less than a metric ton.
Yeah.
I can't have that many cookies in the house.
Speaking of BJ's, the next one. He always wants to have sex.
That would be a negative here.
Yeah.
The credit card statement is always a surprise. Now, That's a little weird. I gotta say no on that one because for the most part we still have we don't have joint credit cards, and the ones that we do I'm fully aware of. So
In today's age of banking apps giving you notifications on your phone every time you spend a dime, it's
Yeah, and I think both Mike and Mike's situation and my situation, where we have side businesses, it gets a little bit odd, So there's business stuff and non-business stuff. So yeah, no, I don't think we have that either. Next one, a little appreciation would be nice. I give appreciation all the time. I'm the most appreciative person out there. Mike, do you appreciate?
I do. I have admitted that I don't tell her how much I appreciate her as much, and I need to work on that. Do I bring her flowers? No. No, I don't do that. Do I buy the flowers every year from the garden center for the yard because it makes her happy? Yes. Do I walk around the garden center and know what those flowers are? No.
I'm with you. See,
but I push the cart and I load them up. That's
see, my recent one was, so, my wife was really pissed about the shape of the yard because she has we have a fairly decent sized yard, and we have a pretty big yard, and it's a lot of work to maintain. And even though we have a riding lawnmower, we got stuff to do. She doesn't have all the time in the world to weed all the flower beds and edge and string trim and mow and do all this stuff. And well, I definitely don't have time to do it because I know what you're thinking. Well, why don't you do it? I don't have time to do it either. So guess what? Hired somebody. I'm gonna break out a checkbook. I'm gonna hire somebody once a week. Come in, take care of the stuff. And then she's like, my wife's like, but I want to be able to take care of stuff. I'm like, no. I want you to be able to take care of stuff you want to take care of in the yard, and not the stuff you don't have time or don't want to take care of. See, this is how I show you that I appreciate you, because I'm going to give you the time to do the stuff you want to do, not the stuff you have to do. And I'm trying to get her to understand the difference. So. He has to be taught basic life skills. I was already taught quite well, thank you. I could do my own laundry. I can do my own cooking. I just don't do it as good as she does. Well, to her specifications, let's put it that way. They're plenty fine to my specifications, but she has her way. Next one, he snores. I got CPAP. I don't snore no more.
Yeah, me too.
I snore, especially after I've been drinking.
Oh yeah, that definitely do it.
Oh yeah, but I am not the only one in the house that snores, so it's fine.
The next one, he gives me the silent treatment when he's mad. Ooh. See, this one, this one so goes both ways.
Yeah.
I actually told my wife the other day, I'm like, nope, you are not allowed to do that. I'm like, you got to tell me when you're mad. And she goes, what? It doesn't make any difference. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. I'm like, it doesn't matter whether it's something I can fix or not. You got to tell me, or it's going to fester and blow up big time.
So there is no silent treatment. My only pet peeve, and this is not me. Well, obviously this is my issue. If you're mad at me, tell me why you're mad. Don't be like, you should know. If I knew why you were mad, I know what I did wrong. And I'm not that smart, so tell me what I did wrong to make you mad so I don't do it again.
Do you ever get the nothing? Nothing's a matter. I get that a lot. I've gotten that before, and I'm like, no, nothing is not a matter, or you wouldn't be saying nothing like you say nothing.
No, I used to get whatever.
My wife said
He's
whatever.
gone all the time. So he's gone all the time. Let me talk about. So this is an interesting one because Kim actually looks forward to like hockey season, because then when I leave for hockey and she has alone time.
Mm-hmm.
And what she does during that alone time, don't care. I'm playing hockey. I'm focusing. So it's a mute.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, own.
Here's the next one. He's friends with all his exes on Facebook. No.
I am not friend with a single one of my exes.
Well, I am, but she's happily married, and, we go out to dinner with them every once in a while. Great once in a while.
Hell no.
Oh, trust me. No. There ain't nothing left there. It was a very short thing.
Oh, one of my exes is friends with an ex-friend of ours, and at our 25th year reunion, the ex-friend brought my ex. Now, we didn't go. When I saw the pictures, I was like, what the hell is she doing now? I'm glad we didn't go now. Because this is one of those exes that if she was on fire, I would not chug a beer to piss on her with. And we will move on.
The next one, the opposite of he always wants to have sex, he never wants sex.
Okay, I was gonna say I must have been drinking, because I'm like, well, didn't we cover this already?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
at 8 and it's at 16, but they decided to split them up into always and never.
So what the one comment they make there is it starts off mismatched sex drives, and there's mismatches. I'll agree to that. That's
and you don't always have to be mismatched. It can come and go depending upon your where you're at. There can be different things, especially as you have your relationship go on. There can be health reasons, there can be seasons of life reasons, there can be all kinds of reasons why you go in and out of the honeymoon phase. There can it's just, don't think that it's always going to be jackrabbit season.
Listen, do you watch Dr. Phil or something? Because that was very philosophical.
No, I'm speaking from a little bit of experience.
I think you're lying. So number 17. It feels like I can't do anything right.
I know some generic drug terms. So
feels like I can't do anything right. I don't know about that one.
Boy, if you have that for too long, you are not going to be together much. Because that feeling like you can't do anything right, it will lead you down a bad path, and it will. A lot of these are bad. That is a horrible one.
Yes.
He micromanages the budget. I have a couple of friends who, I have one friend who says that they have monthly budget meetings as a couple.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's a couple of different scenarios here. Like, if both husband and wife work, then it's different than, like, I see couples where the husband is the only one that works.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the kids, and the wife is home all the time, and the wife has primnesia, so she's always ordering stuff. I would lose my freaking mind at that point. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. I would definitely be micromanaging at that point. Does it happen in this house? No. Do I freak out sometimes about some of the care or the what's it called, the health spending account, right?
Mm-hmm.
It somehow, okay, so I paid for a prescription at Walmart and the card got stored in the app by mistake, and I went and I bought something from Walmart and it charged to the health spending account when it shouldn't have. I started freaking out, like, oh my God, what is this? What happened? Who did you do this? What happened? Or the care credit, which is for the vets, right? Sometimes I'll question a charge on that one, but micromanaging, no.
No, see, and I'm in that situation where my wife doesn't work. She stays home, takes care of the grandkids, does whatever she needs to do for the house, and
But
I
she
work.
also, well, she was also, I don't know if she still does, but I thought she was doing the babysitting at home,
Well,
like daycare.
No, she doesn't run the daycare from home anymore.
Okay.
But I mean, I told her to just kind of, when her parents got bad, I'm like, we can live on one salary. It's okay. And so really it's just, she takes care of family kids and doesn't really get paid for that. In fact, it costs us more money. I swear, as soon as all the kids are gone, we're going to have more money than when we did, before. Summer sucks. God, those kids are here all the damn time now. But anyway,
always eat, right? They always want food and drinks and stuff. I mean, God.
Kids
using your toilets and running that water.
I know. I'm like, turn off a damn light. You're not in this room no more. Besides that, your eyes are young. You can see in the dark. Like it's bright outside. But yeah. So we're single family. But luckily I got a decent job. And so I mean it works out okay. But it's one of those things where, okay, here comes an expense. What do we have to do for it? And she doesn't have primnesia, luckily. Everything goes through me because she knows how to put things in the cart, but doesn't know how to check out. So I think that's a pretty good compromise. She can put things in the cart, but she can't check out. So. Oh. All right, next one. He's afraid of my feelings.
No.
And the next one, he's desperately unhappy. Unhappy wives are usually married to unhappy husbands. Boy, if you're both unhappy, you just need to. If you need to seek counseling, and if that, in lieu of that, you just need to get out. Because
I've been told that. She's been telling me lately I've been grouchy, but yeah, I have been.
And you know what? Me and my wife, we will definitely get, grouchy and cranky and stuff, and we try to make it a point to be at least self-aware enough to, at the end of the day, going, you know what? I'm sorry, I was a bit of an asshole. And, it wasn't at you. It was just at the situation, or it was at work, or it was the kids or whatever, and even that simple little thing, it makes things a little bit better because you know that it wasn't you that caused the problem, So just taking that little step to be self-aware enough to go, you know what? I was a dick today. And, and it's not that don't go to bed angry. It's that don't go to bed with the other person feeling like they were the reason why you were angry. And I think it works. I know that I ended up going to therapy for a little while, and I came out of it with a lot of good coping skills. And I've tried to, put them into practice. And I can say that they've been a decent help to the relationship. So. And to just me in general. Of course, then the pandemic happened. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
speaking of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, my God. So
New York City.
Yeah.
Good Lord. New York City, the news around here has been went crazy for about 2 weeks. Monkeypox.
You know what? It's interesting.
Monkeypox.
I just had to do a report today about our websites, and that is a more common search term than it's been before, especially in our public health sector. And so people are actually looking for it now.
Yeah. So because our news stations are New York City news stations, and the primary focus has been about men being able or people being able to get monkeypox vaccine, and how it's, oh my God, it's just like COVID all over again. We get an appointment, but it tells me in 15 minutes the appointment is in Harlem, which is 2 hours away, and I can't get there. And how am I going to? So saw that for about 2 weeks straight. And then all of a sudden, nobody gave a shit about monkeypox. So what does New York City decide to do? They throw gasoline on the fire and release out of nowhere a PSA about what to do in the event of a nuclear attack.
You know what?
I am not even making this up. This is literal.
Yeah.
This is literally like get away from windows and under a desk in a central room of the house type. I saw this and I said, you've got to be kidding me. This is the very definition of trying to invoke panic. And this may have been released right around the time that that Russia took another city in Ukraine. Major move forward, which, by the way, seems like the news has forgotten that that's going on, because I don't hear anything about that on the news anymore. But, yeah, I thought it was a joke at first. I had to double check when I saw it pop up in my news feed that maybe this was the Onion putting it out. No, this is actually New York City's Emergency Management Department that put out this PSA.
Well, and as that, because it is government, means we have the rights, because it's a PSA. So, we're
sure.
Well, it's taxpayer money.
Okay.
So it's technically open source, essentially.
Well, yeah. Oh, we are providing a service by replaying the PSA.
We are. I mean, it's nothing
right.
that should be. We shouldn't even have to think about
right.
this. It should just be a thing. So here we go. Let's take a look.
Here we go. Opening scene from Legend.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why. Just know that the big one has hit.
I want to know why.
So
Wait, stop. So don't ask me how or why. Oh, no.
That's important.
Right off the bat.
No. Okay. One, I think we know how. Somebody dropped a nuclear bomb on us. That's usually the how.
How or why? Wait a minute. Nobody has ever talked about there being a nuclear attack anytime in my lifetime. Okay? Not that I remember anyway.
No.
Except, so you're telling me, don't ask me how or why. Oh, no, those are the first two questions that come to mind. Okay? What do we do? Like, are you effing kidding me right now?
No. I want to know who did this. That's what I don't get. How or why? Yes, I want to know those things. Who? Which MFN country did this to us? Who? Which brown people are we going to invade next? Because, that's what the U.S. government is going to say. That's what, they're not going to say it was a white country. That doesn't go along with our policy.
No. Could have been Russia. They're not going to say it was terrorism. Go on, please.
All right.
what do? There are 3 important steps that I want you to remember.
Okay.
Step
Only
1,
3.
get inside fast. You, your friends, your family.
Wait a second. A nuclear explosion happens at the speed of light, doesn't it?
Not speed of light, but very fast.
We're not
Very
the
fast.
Flash, okay? We can't go that fast.
So I remember, like, I saw Grease 2. I was one of maybe 15 people that have seen it.
Yeah.
And it's the thing with the fallout shelter in the back, and they pretend that they're, the whole, let's do it for our country, the red, white, and the blue, and, trying to get his girlfriend to sleep with him before the bomb goes off.
Okay.
So they're out there with the warning siren, right? The fallout alarm. So 99% of the people that hear that are immediately, instead of, if they're outside, they're gonna be like,
is it Tuesday?
Can we Google that? See what does that mean? Can you Google that sound? Okay.
They're gonna go. I think it's a
Shazam,
false flag.
what is this?
False flag.
Nobody's gonna know what that sound is.
No.
Or they're gonna think Grandpa got a new horn for his car, his station wagon. Mm-hmm. Right? So get inside fast. Oh, well, okay. That ship has sailed. What's
All right,
number 2?
Next.
Get inside. And no, staying in the car is not an option.
It'll
need
give
to
you
get
just
into
as much
a building
protection.
and move away from the windows.
Get a car is not an option because you cannot drive faster than radiation.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're in this mock apartment building
In
that
a loft.
nobody can afford in New York.
Where's the step about making sure you have lots of black clothing to wear?
Well, what about? Well, hold on. Move away from windows. You've got an entire wall of windows there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
2.
Stay inside.
Stay inside. Shut all doors and windows. Have a
We're
basement?
supposed to be away from the doors
Head
and the
there.
windows.
If you don't have one, get as far into the middle of the building as possible. If you were outside after the blast, get clean immediately. Remove and bag all outer clothing to keep radioactive dust or ash away.
Wait. Hold on. Isn't all the water you're gonna wash with contaminated?
No.
Because it's all stored in like barrels up on top of the building, isn't it?
In New York City,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're correct. In New York City, that might be a problem.
So you now you're just getting it from your clothes directly onto your skin. That's great
Now,
advice.
Notice. So go to the middle of the building. So in New York City, in an apartment building, the middle of the building is the staircase with everybody else. So apparently, nuclear bomb trumps COVID. Because social distancing goes out the window. Everybody get in the staircase. It don't matter if you get COVID because you're not going to be irradiated.
If your face is melting, I don't think you care about a case of the sniffles.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that nuclear bomb trumps COVID.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the CDC actually has that on their homepage right now. Nuclear bomb
and
trumps
just to be-
COVID and monkeypox.
And just to cover everybody there, I do believe nuclear bombs also Biden COVID.
So-
Okay. Yes.
All right.
From your body. Step 3. Stay tuned. Follow media.
Oh, I'm not following the media. I'm only if Tucker Carlson tells me. I'm not listening to any mainstream media. If Tucker don't tell me it's real, then I'm not listening.
I'm going right to Al Jazeera Radio.
You know,
so they can be like, they'll tell me who bombed me.
if
I need to know.
I'm going to log on to Truth Social, and if it doesn't confirm it, then I'm getting my butt right back out there and being a proud American waving my gun in the air.
They do follow media for more information. Okay.
Yeah, those
How do you
people
do
we
that
trust.
How do you do that when the nuclear bomb probably wiped out all the broadcasts?
All the telecommunications, because you know there's an
Yeah.
EM pulse that follows it.
For more information. Don't forget to sign up for Notify NYC for official alerts and updates.
Oh yeah, because the
Of
cell
course,
phone
because
network.
the cell phones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, see, you don't need a cell phone because the coronavirus gave you the 5G right in your head. They can just beam the things right into your brains. That's why.
And don't go outside until officials say it's safe.
Just in case you forgot about rule number 2.
That's the police state for you. They want to control where you're at. That way they can come and they can take you away.
You've got this.
No, I don't think we
You've
do.
got this.
No, I think that we are
you know,
screwed.
Yeah, I think everybody should just follow step 0, which is if you're worried about nuclear bombs, don't live in New York City.
Well, don't live in any major metropolitan area at all.
Yes,
And
but especially not New York City.
well,
So
and realistically,
let
just watch the end of
Taft.
war games because you're done. No matter
What
what,
was it?
Nobody.
what was it? Taft, Ohio, from that Robin Williams movie with Kurt Russell, the football movie.
Oh, I don't know.
Did
Yes.
he say Taft? It's fundamentally, it's been scientifically proven that because of the winds, that Taft will be the safest place from nuclear radiation in the event of a war. That's where you want to live. But at this point, the bottom of Lake Mead might be the safest spot, because apparently I ain't seen the light of day in how long?
According to this, Guam. If you want to be in the safest place, go to Guam.
No. Listen, Madagascar. Okay, if you've ever played, there's an Outbreak game that used to be online, where you had to develop your own virus and see, you pick all the attributes, and you knew as soon as Madagascar shut down its borders, you couldn't win the game. If you infected Madagascar first, you could win the game.
Well, here you go.
Madagascar.
The safest place in the U.S. for nuclear war is considered to be the state of Maine. Maine is deemed to be safe due to its lack of nuclear plants and urban areas. Other potential safe areas include Oregon, Northern California, and Western Texas. So there you go.
Okay.
That's who's going to survive. Them and Guam.
Okay. I got 22 acres in Maine. Who wants to buy in?
Maybe. Maybe.
And there's a river nearby. So we got water.
We got water. We just need a bunch of life straws.
So it's 7:05. I want to talk about, going back to the previous thing that you were talking about, Shaggy, which is Prime and Prime Day. So did anybody buy anything?
Yes, I bought a lot of monitors. And I also
go back and look.
I bought a lot, but not much of it was for me. See, I did the smart business thing. I bought for customers on Prime Day, and then I'm selling them at my full retail price.
Okay. Prime Day was the 13th and 14th?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I bought some clothes, two articles were already returned. Thank you, Prime Try Before You Buy. And toothpaste for the dogs. That was it. Although, no, actually, it wasn't from Prime, but I bought a couple of monitors as well. No, where's the box? It's easier to go that way. Let's see, the box back there. Walmart had a 27-inch MSI monitor for $120. So Kim got a new monitor, and I got a new monitor. So, but that was it.
I bought filters for my robotic vacuum, pet food can cover lids, fiber optic cable, boy onesies, TP-Link Deco mesh Wi-Fi, 4 monitors, SFP Plus RJ45 adapter, a Nintendo Mario T-shirt, USB-C magnetic adapter, some women's socks, another monitor, and then a set of 2 ladder shelves, and then a multimedia cabinet, and then this headset. that I use for work.
I bought
What'd you
a
buy?
3-pack of Amazon Eero Pro 6E routers, which I've been
Okay.
very happy with. There was a deal with for a Baby Yoda cover for my Amazon voice remote. Bought some Ethernet cables to go with the routers. I bought a Lego set of Harry Potter because Lego on sale never happens. I bought a case for one of my for my charger for my car battery. I bought a Super Mario Maze game. This thing. Don't know why actually, but it was cheap. But my favorite thing that I bought, which is the last thing I got, was a wireless adapter for CarPlay, so that I can now have my phone attached to my car for CarPlay without actually having to plug it into a cable.
Right.
That I'm very happy
Apple.
with.
Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's this one works for because I have an Apple phone, so this one specifically is for CarPlay. But there's other ones that also work with Android Auto.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, but I know that you also bought something, Mike.
Yeah, so that actually was on. I had to go back and look. That actually was on Prime Day as well. And I got another box of crap from Woot. And this one actually wasn't crap. Like, I opened it up, and so I don't have everything here because it's been dispersed. There was a Woot reusable shopping bag, as there always is. Unfortunately, this one was like white and pink unicornish looking glitter thing, so I will never touch it. There were several of, to be specific, there were 4 of these USB-C hubs, 2 of which I sent to you guys.
Yep, I got it today.
They work with Macs because they're the dual USB-C. So I don't have a Mac. I said, can you guys use them? Go ahead. Here you go. I did get one that was a single USB-C that is over there. I got three? Yeah, 3 of these wireless charging stands for phones.
Those are handy.
I got an Anchor. This one is the PowerWave charging pad. A 2-pack of PowerPort 20-watt cubes, which are USB-C charger. These are USB. Wait, do I have one over here? That's the charger. Mm-hmm. Okay, 20-watt, and you see it's so small. So I got like 6 of those. Is that what that one is? I'm sorry, I got like 4 of them because this one is the 20-watt cube with the cable. And then the big thing was, now it's refurbished, but it's a 3-camera Arlo Pro 4 wireless camera system. Spotlight security cameras. I have no idea where I'm going to put these things. I have Blink cameras everywhere. And I'm afraid that if I put these up, I'm going to say, well, damn. These are nicer than the Blinks. I got like a dozen Blink cameras all over the place. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Well, they're free, so you can go ahead and put them outside.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I'm going to wind up using them for something, obviously. But
yeah.
Yeah, for the first time, I feel like I got my money's worth out of this.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the best bag of crap I ever heard.
So
I mean,
the
beyond the ones
downside
you
out
always
of this,
look at.
so the hubs that I sent you guys, this see, this is going to be the most dangerous part. Okay, so these things go on Amazon for like $60 a piece, but they only work with specific MacBook and Pros and MacBook Airs.
Mm-hmm.
So now, as I'm looking for refurbished ones, I find myself straying away from the cheaper ones that I previously was interested in, all because this stupid thing won't work with them. So because I got a free thing that I didn't even know I wanted. Now
you're going to buy an expensive MacBook.
Okay, I'll tell you the absolute truth on anything Apple, which is don't buy anything Apple that isn't using Apple Silicon.
Explain.
Well, I have one that's not. I have one that's on an Intel. It's not bad.
I was going to say.
Oh, it's not bad. I'm just saying, if it isn't like an M1 or an M2, it's just don't. Because
I should be clear.
It's just.
So what I was looking to buy it for was very, very use specific. It's going to run DJ software. That's it.
Yeah.
So for that purpose, I get what you're saying. Like, this is one of those buy once, cry once scenarios. But I don't need anything higher than an i5 to do that. So it's very, very narrow use case. I totally get what you're saying though. If I was looking for something brand new, yeah, you know what? Those M1 and the new Apple chips, they're phenomenal. But I'm not spending $2,200 on a laptop. I think that would be the fastest. Well, no, actually, it wouldn't be.
Actually,
again,
you don't
buy once, cry once.
The M2, because the M2 MacBooks are coming out, the M1s are going to go down in price. And actually, the M1s are actually. I was looking at there's not that big of a difference in the processing between the M1 and the M2. For what you're going to use it for, Mike, there's not that big of a difference, but there'll be a decent price difference.
Okay, so what's the price going to be?
Somewhere between 8 and 12.
Okay, so we'll go halfway. All right. So what you're not taking into account is the extra $1,000 to file for divorce if I buy a $1,000 laptop.
Well, but look at it this way: that's better than a $2,000 laptop. So if you look at it that way, you're basically saving $1,000, Mike.
No, see, that's not how it works in this house. If I were to buy a $2,000 laptop, that essentially gives Kim the green light to buy a $2,000 laser engraver or a $2,000 piece of equipment that I have to pay for. Right. So that's where it comes in.
Well, Mike,
that's where the balance comes in.
Love hurts, and sometimes it hurts the pocketbook.
Well, it's true. It does.
In fact, a lot of times.
So as it stands right now, one of an M1 is $999, and one of an M2 is $1199.
Yeah. See, look, $1,000. I was right on that.
Okay.
I mean, that's cheap at twice the price with the Mac tax. So, and you might actually be able to find, because you could, looking at these adapters, see, you could go down to a MacBook Pro 2016 or later. So I bet you could find a decent MacBook Pro like 2017
because the 2016s have a active recall but Apple was only fixing them until October of 2020. So 2016 MacBook Pros are not. They're kind of like they're going cheap now.
Right. So here's one. Here is a Apple MacBook Pro 13 Space Gray anywhere between 2017 and 2018. 2.3 i5 with an SSD, comes with a 2-year warranty, $600.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, that
I know you're trying to spend my money, but
that's a bargain right there.
well, yeah. There's also a place not too far from me. There's actually a couple of places that do that deal in refurbs that I may go check out and see, because if I can buy one locally and get the warranty, I would rather do that.
Oh, for sure. Oh, here's one.
Now, Colin, you said that you were going to use yours for what was going to replace your Plex server. What that was a Mac Mini? Was it?
Yeah,
maybe?
it's the M1 Mac Mini.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So I was like, wait a minute, he didn't buy a MacBook to replace his Plex server. Where you going?
No, it's just a Mini.
So the other thing while he's gone, this wasn't a Prime Day purchase, but I'm just kind of killing time now. On the hottest day of the year, I decided to finally get off my butt, and so I told you guys about my Wi-Fi experience and all. Well, I finally got the 16-port switch from Ubiquiti, because UPS lost the first one and had to file a claim. They sent me out a second one, hooked that up, go up in the attic, 120-something degrees in my attic. I disconnect the old access point. I put the Wi-Fi 6 one up there, run the wire, put the older access point out in the garage, 120 degrees in my garage. I'm sweating like a hooker in church for like 2 hours while I'm hooking everything up. I power up the now I had used flat Cat 6 cable in a pre-terminated one, and I go to staple it to get it out of the way, hit the nail, boom, everything shifted. I went right through the damn cable. I had to and those flat cables, they're not easily stripped and terminated by an average consumer.
No.
So I had to go and rerun the cable and sweat all over again.
Yeah.
Re-terminate it on the spot. But now I have Wi-Fi every damn where. So, in fact, that the older long-range AC Pro, that's going to get replaced with a 6 Lite, because I think the signal strength is just as good on the lights, the Wi-Fi 6 lights.
Yep.
Plus, they look cool. They look damn cool when people look up and say, "Oh, what's that?" "Oh, that's my Wi-Fi." "Oh, it looked like a flying saucer." "No, it's just my Wi-Fi."
Oh boy.
The fun part was I set up the guest portal now. So if people want to connect to my guest Wi-Fi, they have to accept terms of service and all of that stuff. My terms of service actually say that you will go and like Butterstown Gifts on Facebook, that you will follow Butterstown Gifts on Instagram, that you agree that Ape Man is a sexy motherfucker, you agree that Ape Man is a genius, and you will not discuss any topic du jour that could create drama in this house.
Okay.
And I will hold people to it.
Yep. So before we get to our movie review, I want to talk about this because my wife's headed out of town this weekend, so we had to book a hotel room for her. And so one of the articles that happened to come up because I was doing that was a hotel where you could get to stay for free.
I'm sorry. That's not the article I thought you were going to go. I was
No.
Like,
Which one did you think I was going to go for?
Well, you started, before we get there, I want to talk about this. My wife and I, immediately I went to that last article you shared with the multicolored wigs, and I was like, what?
No.
What?
The stripper one? No, I wasn't going to that one.
I'm sorry.
No. So, but if you really want to talk about the statistic stripper, we can. But
No, we can. No, that's all right.
I figure we're going to talk about enough boobs coming up here in a few minutes. So here it's a hotel room where you can stay for free as long as you don't mind strangers being able to watch your just about every move, because all the walls are made of glass.
So you said all the walls almost. So the bathroom, I think, is the only one.
Boy, I would hope so.
Yes, the bathroom's
I
private.
should hope so too. Okay.
So, Hotel Paradiso Ibiza, the Zero Suite, is an art project.
Sorry.
You can only book it for one night, but it is it's a glass hotel room.
Yeah, 2 walls
Yes,
are
it is a
glass
private-
and a short wall on one end.
So, it's
It's the upper class pronounce it Ibiza.
Ibiza.
Yes.
So,
Ibiza is how the peasants pronounce it.
So, Mike, would you stay in an all glass hotel room?
So here you go. I would book it for a week. Y'all gonna be kicking me out after one night. I guarantee it, because I ain't gonna care. I'm gonna be like that monkey at the zoo.
You're gonna scratch your balls and
Oh,
fart
you
and
better-
everything.
You better believe it, man.
I kind of would do it for one night just as a hey, this will be a fun story for the grandkids. Hey, I was a human petting zoo object for one night, because that's what it basically sounds like. You're an animal on display,
Like, anybody tapped the glass, I would just be like, I'd go running up and be like,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's just be completely honest. If we somehow magically managed to get one of the probably very limited reservations this room has, when we show up, they'd probably be like, "We're actually going to give you a regular room. We're going to find somebody else."
Yeah, three middle-aged,
True.
dad bod guys.
We don't have the required number of TikTok followers.
No.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be really, really boring. No. You're just going to sit around, drink beer, watch TV. That's not what people pay to see. So.
Colin just pissed in our collective Cheerios, but it's unfortunately it's true.
It's not
He
the only
slapped us
time
with a
he's gonna do
tortilla of
that.
truth.
Well, I don't know. Maybe if we showed up with a bear costume,
The tortilla.
I mean,
of
like
truth.
we're gonna be dressed up as a polar bear the entire time.
That's it. Carlos and Isabel, if you're listening, because I know you listen to this on podcast sometimes, I want a T-shirt with a tortilla of truth. I just want an animated, an amorphized tortilla with a cape, and it's right fizzed out. And he goes, "I am the tortilla of truth and justice." That's what I want.
So what he's saying, Carlos, is you draw it up and you're going to send it to me to put on a damn T-shirt to send
Yes.
out to him. That's what.
I want a tortilla of truth. Maybe
Okay.
maybe
know
he's
what-
even
you know
holding
what-
the scales of justice.
Well, you know what I'm referencing by that, right? So we went from TikTok to the tortilla challenge. You right? I shared this the other day, which was recently brought to light thanks to the bromance of Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson. I refuse to call him The Rock anymore because you know what? I'm done with that. But yeah, so Kim actually said to me, we should do this the next time we have a party. I said, great. That means we're going to have a party. I'll slap friends with a tortilla. If that's fine. We can play that game. But no, I think the tortilla of truth. That should be our new mascot.
Yes.
Is that wait?
Isn't there a
Could that
game
be
called
construed as
throwing burritos? Yeah, there's a dodgeball card game called Throw Burrito. So we can have one called Tortilla of Truth. I don't think Tortilla of Truth is racist.
I'm just look. I'm hypersensitive. I'm just making sure. The key.
I didn't say he had to wear a sombrero. I said he was wearing a cape.
I'm not saying that. This is going to be look. The test will be when the shirt is made and sent to you.
Mm-hmm. I
And
think
Angie says you can wear it in public.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think we have
a
little tortilla of truth, and then on the side, his partners in justice, a little mild packet.
You go in there.
You know, a little mild packet and a little sour cream packet. You know, flanking either side of him.
So his sidekicks are condiments.
Yes. Well, who else would they be? I mean, if you want like size ratio, they have to be little packets. You can't really have the Taco Loco of Injustice, next to him. They'd be huge. I mean, he's just a tortilla guy.
Suddenly, this is like a Mexican version of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah. So
you could have one of those double-decker tacos from Taco Bell that has the hard and the soft shell. Because then you have a tortilla.
The chalupa.
Surrounding
Captain
the
chalupa.
See, I was thinking of a tortilla chip. Not like a tortilla, I was thinking of the tortilla chip.
Oh. Well, no.
I guess maybe one of them could be a bowl of salsa. Short but wide.
Or a bowl of guacamole.
No.
No. Great segue, though. Fantastic segue.
So, it is now time for our double feature movie review. And this week, have we hit some incredible movies?
Folks, I think we've hit rock bottom, okay? We absolutely have hit rock bottom after this. Okay. I question my damn existence in this world.
I kind of do too, but we're going to proceed nonetheless. So, I kind of want to do. So the two movies that we had were Sky Sharks, a Colin request, and Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. So,
who requested that one, Shaggy?
So I put that one on the list. I will freely admit I put that one on the list.
Yeah, you damn well better, because for once, 8Man is not responsible for any of this ridiculousness. I did not bring on any of the pain here.
I believe I will be victorious. Okay? In the head-to-head matchup.
There's no betting there.
In the head-to-head matchup of Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death and Sky Sharks,
really?
I believe I will come out on top.
You better. What's in your sippy cup? Okay.
So, all right. So, I believe we should do Sky Sharks first.
But that doesn't go with the segue.
Okay, well then we'll do Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death first, since that evidently goes with the segue.
Yes.
Okay, so Colin, we will let you tell us what you thought of, again, the great name, Cannibal, who's definitely getting their points in Scrabble, Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
Yeah. Okay, so in this movie, apparently a very large part of the state of California is a jungle filled with cannibals. cannibal women who are super feminists to the point where they eat men in guacamole. Thus, the segue, thus the avocado jungle of death. So in a Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of beginning of it, these government people come and get this professor, blonde woman, played by Shannon Tweed, to go into the avocado jungle of death and convince the cannibal women piranha women? Yes, they're the piranha women. Get these piranha women to leave their jungles so that they can get to the avocados, so the government can get the avocados, and move them to a resort in Miami, or condos in Miami. Was it Miami? Anyway, none of this matters. It has Shannon Tweed, Bill Maher, and Adrienne Barbeau, who, they had enough money to have her in for one day. So she came in and shot some footage for them in one day, and then that's it. I don't know who made this movie and who they made it for. Okay, is this a pro-feminist movie? Is it a anti-feminist movie? I don't know. I'm not sure they knew. But the characters just kind of stumble around in the jungle, meet some men that they call wimps, and ends up finding the piranha women, finding another one who, I forget what they wanted. They don't use guacamole, they use something else, and they were battling over it. I don't know. I don't know. This movie is mind-meltingly bad. But, I'm going to give it... I don't know. I can't give it puke. I will give it Verp. Is that
Verp? Yes.
Yes. Verp.
All right, Verp. Mike, moving on to you and your evaluation of cannibal women in the avocado jungle of death. As he chugs some whiskey. You're muted. There you go.
All right. The fact that I have to read this title, which feels like a bad Mad Lib, and I haven't even had any peyote buttons it's just pretty much a sign that there is no God. It literally, this feels like an asylum version of Amazon women on the moon. Now, I'm going to be perfectly clear about one thing as I start on this. I am not going to tap out, no matter how bad this movie gets. Why? Because I made such a stink about the tap outs last week that I am not even going to appear the slightest bit spiteful about it. Opening sequence. This movie is called Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death, okay? They blurred out the naked boobs in the opening sequence. I have to sit through this entire movie, and I don't even get to see boobs. I hereby retract my statement about not tapping out. Because I might now. I'm going to piss off half of our listeners with this question. I guarantee it. But someone tell me what job you are qualified for if you have a degree in feminist studies. And what will that degree qualify you to get your student loan debt canceled? I'm asking for a friend, to be honest. Dean Stockwell, shouldn't he be helping Sam Beckett? And we now have an uncharted avocado jungle in Southern California that takes up the entire southern half of California. This movie was made in 1989, before avocado toast was a thing. More to the point, how is this a military concern? There's no doubt in my mind that this movie was on Rhonda Shear's USA Up All Night. I'm not going to do the voice because how come the Feminist Studies Department Jeep is allowed to drive on the sidewalk on the breezeway, which I'm pretty sure was the same breezeway that Val Kilmer ran down in Real Genius. Here he is, Mr. Bill Maher. The absolute perfect choice to guide feminists into the jungle. He's petting a leopard. You know, there's a whole Facebook group entitled, dedicated to, I'll probably die petting something I shouldn't. And this woman probably founded it. A Palm Springs hippo. Okay. Now, the scene with the tribe of men. Every time this scene is played, a feminist's head explodes. Because Bill Maher's character, well, he's not a character at this point. I'm pretty sure this is how he speaks in real life about what women, the roles of women being barefoot in the kitchen and all of that stuff. Avocados cause cannibalism. Who knew? The fight scene at the end. Okay, so the Adrienne Barbeau thing, yeah, it's trivia that they only could afford to pay her for one day. So she did like 17 pages of dialogue in one day. I kind of feel like that this was an Ashton Kutcher move that backfired. I think she threw a number at them because she didn't really want to do it, but she didn't want to sound snobbish, so she threw an unrealistic salary number at them, and they came back and said, okay, we can do that. And she said, well, okay, now I have to do 1 day's worth of work. Because Kutcher, they said, for 2.5 Men, they said, what would it take for you to come in? He said, $1 million an episode. They said, done. I said, oh, shit. The fight at the end, that's about as realistic as something from a LARPing convention. It's like something you would have saw at the end of Role Models, that movie. So, Future Nikes, don't do it. Just don't. I mean, puke all the way. Puke with chunks of avocado in it. Just, no, don't. Do not. Ever, don't.
All right.
Unless you love Trump.
All right, my take. So, full disclosure, this is not the first time I've watched this movie. I remember watching it in the early 90s. I remember watching it.
Wait a minute. No. I'm sorry. Come back.
Yes.
So you watched this ahead of time and put it on the list anyway?
As I said, I watched this in the early 90s.
You are so freaking fired. Oh my God, you were fired. Go ahead.
Was it on Up All Night?
No, I think I watched this on HBO or Showtime, so I got to see boobs.
Oh, there was a version that was not okay.
Yeah, there was a good version. So yes, because I definitely remember as this movie got going, I remembered seeing it. So just after, I think it might have been when she was interviewing, jungle guides, I think that's when everything kind of registered with me, and I was like, oh yeah, I have seen this movie. And so I didn't watch this movie alone this last time. No, I watched this movie with my wife. And I have never got so many odd looks and questions of, and why did you put this movie on the list? Why do you guys watch this garbage? And do you really have to watch this whole thing? In my life. And then after the fact, she was like, I think I've watched that before too. She goes, I think I remember seeing it when it came out as well. And I'm like, yeah, good films. You watch them again and again. It's just the way that it goes, So, yeah, I mean, you've heard from the guys, the general summation of it. But what you maybe didn't know was, a little bit more. So everybody knows who Shannon Tweed is. Everybody knows who Adrienne Barbeau is. Everybody knows who Bill Maher is. But Karen M. Waldron, who played Bunny, the cute young girl in it. What you may not have realized is that she did go on to land a fairly significant role in a fairly modern film, a 20-year-old film at this point, but still a good film, Space Cowboys. She was the female pilot in Space Cowboys. So, and she also was in Return of the Killer Tomatoes, but we'll give her a pass on that one. So, she did have something else of a career after the fact. So is this movie campy, cheesy, 80s B film? Oh, absolutely. There is no question in my mind that this is 80s cheese B movie. But that's what's so great about it. It is exactly what you expect out of a campy, cheesy 80s B movie. I mean, it has everything that you want. Bad cannibal stew pool piranha infested, effects, which is really just like beef stock with a little air pump underneath it to make it bubble, to make you think that there's piranhas in a pool. No real other special effects whatsoever, and dialogue that seems like it's been written by a 13-year-old. I mean, it's perfect. This is what a B movie should be. So, and it's got names that you know now. So, in my mind, this gets a smile from me, because this is what I want in a B movie. There's not as many boobs as what would be expected, but this is perfect. It's got all the right elements. There's no question.
No.
So.
Well, thank you, Shaggy, for answering the question of who was this made for. Apparently, it was you.
It was 100% was made for me. Now let's talk about another one. Sky Sharks. All right. So, Colin, this is your pick that you said we had to include in the next episode. So let's go with you and see what your opinion of Sky Sharks was.
Can I just say, though, I just need to tell everyone. So there was a moment where so we have our chat between the three of us before, like between shows, to discuss topics and what have you. And Shaggy messages the chat and says, "Watching Sky Sharks, I don't remember putting this on the list." I said, "Oh, you didn't."
Yeah.
This was an executive. This was an audible by Colin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
and you'll find out why that's important and why I asked that question as we go along, I'm sure. All right, Colin. Let me ask you first of all, though. Now, typically you review these movies with your parents.
Yes, we watched both of these.
Okay, thanks. All right, Colin, tell us what you thought of Sky Sharks.
Yeah, Sky Sharks. So the story of this is I happened upon a trailer on YouTube, and I was like, oh, so this is like Iron Sky combined with Sharknado. And that's what Wikipedia said, too. And there were some people saying it was terrible, and people saying it was good. And I was like, well, Sharknado and Iron Sky, those are two classics of PTR radio watching movies. So I was like, this is something we have to watch. Now, famously, I am responsible for one of our most controversial things, which was where I refused to give a movie a score because I decided it was a real movie. It's because I didn't like the movie, and I didn't. But I acknowledge that was just a matter of taste, and I just didn't want to give a rating to a movie that I could recognize as being good. I just didn't like. Now, this one you could arguably say it should be given a rating because is it actually a movie? I don't know. Is it actually a movie? It's very borderline. But what I've done, I actually have notes of the first, I'll say 45-ish minutes of this pile of Fever Dream. So you have a minute of, production stuff. You have about 8 minutes of people on a plane. As this keeps going, you're like, huh. I was actually worried to myself, going, is this not a Iron Sky / Sharknado thing like I saw? Is this maybe like sharks on a plane? Because they're spending a lot of time on us getting to meet all of these different characters. There's more characterization of all these people on this plane than there is in the entire rest of this movie. 9 minutes, 15 seconds into the movie, plane gets attacked by Nazi zombies riding sky sharks. Why they're attacking the plane, not really described. Why are they boarding the plane and then killing everybody on the plane and then destroying the plane so it then crashes? That seems to be a lot of steps where, just destroy the plane would have done everything. Okay, then we're actually into the title sequence, which is a woman driving around in a hyper-realized city that, like, they try to make it look like Tron or Tokyo. I don't know what they were doing. But she finally gets to this office building, which looks like the bad guy's lair in any one of the various Power Rangers series, maybe VR Troopers, where they take an actual office building and draw tentacles on the outside for no apparent reason, so that's where the bad guy is. So in there you find this guy who's very old and is taking shots and has some kind of thing on his back to help him stand. And turns out that he's like the father of the woman that we were seeing drive and enter this building. He then proceeds to stand in front of a Minority Report type interface and watch lots of footage of talking heads. I mean, talking heads like you see on news, screens with people talking on it, and all it is their face. So now we're at 17 and a half minutes into this movie. And now you're in a badly animated snowcat on the way to wherever this ship is in the middle of nowhere. And apparently another daughter of the old guy. I gotta say, when I first watched this, the sound is so terrible because there's this bad techno bed under everything, and it was covering up a lot of the dialogue. So I had to go back and I watched the entire movie not even sure who these two women were. So I had to go back later and check it and say, oh, okay, they were both his daughters. I thought one was a daughter and one was girlfriend. I wasn't sure. So we proceed for a couple minutes of them driving in this snowcat. At that point, they're now checking into other people who are already at this ship they're going to. But those people apparently forgot they were in this movie and thought that they were in a late-night Cinemax skin flick because they're having sex and totally naked. And then, like this is Friday the 13th, that because they're having sex, they get killed. We're now to 20 minutes into this movie now. You still have no idea what's going on. But now begins let's see. when I get this out, another 10-minute long sequence of this woman walking around in this thing, seeing all these freaky Nazi stuff, with no dialogue other than the old guy in the building saying, "Get out of there! Why doesn't she listen to me?" You have no clue what the hell's going on. All you know is that she gets stabbed by a zombie woman with some kind of injection, and ends up in this extremely long, looks like another 10 minutes long sequence of her being naked in a shower, turning into a zombie, not turning into a zombie, and then exercise. It just goes on and on of rapid fire. Exercise, naked in a shower, being a zombie, exercise. I have no clue what the hell is going on in this movie. Then finally we're at a family dinner. And, I almost forgot. So in between her getting the injection and this sequence, there is a 1-minute long advertisement that looks like it came out of Better Off Ted, the 2009 sitcom with Portia and I remember. Anyway, that was a good show. But it looks like this world might be in the same world as that show, because they have this weird 1-minute long advertisement for the company that the old guy owns. Talking about how they feed the people and have little kids in Africa who are obviously malnourished, but their eyes are bright blue. So who knows why. So then they have a family dinner, and then the old guy explains that he was actually a German scientist from World War II. And it starts off, so we have what I've decided to refer as General Burkhalter is driving in a car, being driven in a car past various World War II scenes. I don't know. This all still felt like somebody was having a fever dream. But he gets to this place, and while scientist is giving a dictation on something which didn't seem to have any meaning whatsoever, the general then, while waiting, gets an injection, which apparently doesn't mean anything. So they have this entire sequence of him taking drugs for no reason. And then they have another weird advertisement thing of this World War II Nazi giving a color projected film thing of whatever it is heck he was doing, creating a chemical that makes men stronger and women into zombie crazy women who are also stronger. And if he spread it on dead people, then they turn into zombies. It's an all you can eat chemical buffet. Then it goes back to the dinner. Then we go back to Germany. You find out that the old guy actually created the chemical in the first place, and then nothing seems to have happened there in Germany because the scientist guy went to Argentina. We're 45 minutes into this movie. I still have no idea what was going on. All I know is that the way the movie ends is that the old guy explains that during the Vietnam War, he made some North Koreans? No, Viet Cong. He made some Viet Cong into zombies so that he could have this dead U.S. soldier who is being puppeted by this other guy go and attack them to prove that this thing was going to work. And that all failed. But because that all failed, it gave them the idea that he could make a giant shark and then use that giant shark to attack the other sharks who at that time were destroying planes. At that point, the movie just ends. I don't know why the movie ended, because all they did was knock some sharks out of the ground. The entire ship full of Nazis, full of sharks, was still there, and they even show up in the credits. And anyway, that's the movie. You can watch this movie multiple times if you're crazy, and you still would have no idea what the heck this is, why it was made. Did anybody who made this, have they actually ever seen a movie before? because this movie seemed to have been made by aliens who someone told them what a movie was, and then they tried to make a movie without ever actually having seen a movie before. Long way of saying, definitely this movie should be killed with fire, and don't watch it. Just don't.
All right, Mike, you're up next.
Okay. For the first 10 minutes of this movie, I was mesmerized because I kept seeing faces on that plane that I recognized from actual movies. 10 minutes in now, I have so many damn questions about this movie, not the least of which is who gave it funding and who greenlit it. First of all, forget the fact that sharks are flying. How are they breathing when they're not in water? Second, is how many recognizable faces are we going to see in this movie? And third, how does the plane not depressurize at altitude when they rip it open like a can of sardines? And that's just in the first 10 minutes. So the plane starts to crash. Nobody is leaning or falling. There's no air rushing out, so nobody's hair going everywhere. There's just people bleeding. We get to the part where they're going to the Arctic on the Snowcat, as Colin was alluding to before, and I thought for sure that this scene meant that Shaggy did some kind of Jedi mind trick, mind control, hacking into Colin's computer to make him think that this was an Iron Sky meets Sharknado movie. And got somehow I thought Shaggy was behind this getting on the list. Do you have any? Okay, so the daughter's trying to fight her way out of the ship, right? You have no idea how much it bothered me that she is walking through, and they zoomed in on this. She's walking through, and she's got ice spikes on her boot. She roundhouse kicks the one zombie dude, Nazi, and slices his face open. Now she doesn't have spikes on her boots. And then she does. And then she doesn't. This goes back and forth like 16 times. It's like that movie where the dude's shirt changed every time the camera cut away from him. Giant ship disappears. I'm confused, but I'm entertained. Is this what it feels like when you're watching an episode of The Kardashians? There is an awful lot of nakedness in this movie. This is not at all what I was expecting. This is a Skinamax version of Iron Sky right here. If nothing else, I have to say the movie did have a pretty good soundtrack. All of these commercials for Richter Technologies, the movie is now starting to remind me of Starship Troopers a little bit. Every woman who is getting effed in this movie, the dude that's doing it gets his head blown apart. I suddenly feel like the feminist theme from the last movie is being carried over. And now we're turning down the path of Resident Evil with Project Dead Flesh. Hold the phone. Did he just say Megalodon? He's controlling it via remote neural link like Pacific Rim. Suddenly, this movie got fun. Now, I'm going to ask this question. Did any of y'all watch to the end of the credits?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
Colin? Did you watch the end of the credits?
I think I did.
Oh, you'd remember if you did. Trust me, you would. And I'll just leave it to Shaggy answered very quick, so I'm sure he'll cover this. For the first time in the history of the Double Feature Movie Review, I am legit giving a movie 2 ratings. If you watch this movie sober, this movie is a verb. Plain and simple. The effects are mediocre. The acting is borderline. The story has downright got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. However, if you use mind-altering substances while you watch this movie, it's a laugh, because it is so far-fetched and so pointless, yet so possibly entertaining, that if your mind is in a different space, maybe you will think that this movie is actually good. So my advice is be drunk when you watch it, if you decide to watch it, or high.
Oh. All right. So I'll round us out here. So Sky Sharks. Colin gave you the whole movie, so there is no need to watch it. I will tell you that now. All right. I will just hit on a couple of high points. So a couple of the actors and actresses in it. All right. Eva Haberman, who plays the wife of Richter. Okay, you don't see her much in this. She's from Lex. If you liked Lex, she has a 30-second part in this. All right. T. Love, who plays a soldier in here. He's from Black Panther. If you want to see him in a 5-minute cameo, you can fast forward to him in it. Tony Todd, famous for Candyman and The Rock and The Crow. He's in this movie. All right. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. All right. He's been in the Mortal Kombat, Planet of the Apes, Tekken. You would know him if you saw him. He's in this movie. Again, fast forward. Amanda Burse, who I didn't know was still alive. Marcy Darcy from Married with Children is in this and is just as annoying as she was when she played Marcy Darcy. All right. She is one of those talking heads that Colin talked about on the television screen. All right. She's in this movie. I don't know why any of them took a paycheck for this movie. All right. None of them could be hard up enough for money to be in this movie. It's not worth it, folks. At some point, you just have to say, it's not worth my name being in the credits. That's it. Unless maybe they needed to keep their SAG card up to date. So they needed a movie credit this year. I don't know, but it's not worth it. Find something else. All right. Sky Sharks is horrendous. All right. You can be a B shark movie. You can be a B zombie movie. This is an F on both. All right. It's not a good either. And it's not even a good bad either. Like a Sharknado or an Iron Sky. It has no appeal on either front. So it's just completely disjointed. And like Mike said, I don't know how they got funding for it. So this is one of the rare kill it with fires that I will give. All right. There's no way that you should watch this at all. All right.
Yeah, Shaggy, you actually, based off of the sheet, you have never given a movie a kill it with fire until now.
It's so rare. Yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it. Now, typically at this point in the show, we would pick 2 more movies.
Well, we can.
Well, we're not going to. We're not going to do that publicly. We may do it privately, but we're not going to do it publicly because we talked about a big announcement for this show, and we're doing it right at the end so that you had to listen all the way through. So PTR is taking a break. We are going to take the month of August off. We're going to do a little bit of spring cleaning or summer cleaning. August is just a very busy month for all of us. So we think it's just best if we take August off. We come back fresh in September, and we hit the ground running in September, and we're fresh and we're new and we're ready for everybody again. So if you're behind in the podcast, this gives you an opportunity to get caught up. If you had some ideas on things like, hey, this would be cool if you guys did it, you can send us your way. I've already got some ideas of some things that I want to start doing in September. Some games that I want to play, and some things that I haven't even told the guys about that I want to try out and see if they work. Just to bring a little bit more fun.
Your ideas always wind up with me spending money. Dirt 4 steering wheel.
No, these are things that I think will be fun, and they won't cost you guys any money. They might cost me some, but won't cost you guys any money, I don't think. Because Mike, I think you already have a green screen, so you don't have to worry about it.
I do.
Yeah. So but yeah. So there's just going to be a few things, plus some rewiring, some new equipment in the studio, I think, just to bring a little bit of new life into things.
Always rewire. Okay.
So do keep an eye on us for all of our social media channels and everything, because even though we're not going to be doing live shows, you may still find some stuff on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, because I'm going to be doing a rebuild project on a couple of things, and I'll be posting some updates there so that you can see those and see how the progress of the studio is coming along here. And, if the guys have something that they want to share, they can post it along too, so that you can see what we're doing during our month off. So we will post when we're going to be. Did we decide when we're coming back in September yet, or are we?
I think we unofficially did. Hold on, I'm pulling up a calendar here so I can actually look. I think we said the 12th, which is the week after Labor Day.
Okay. Well, let's shoot for that for right now. So that's the 12th. So look for us on September 12th. Coming back live to you again. But like I said, make sure to subscribe to all of our social media channels. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And you never know when we might drop something on there, just to get you guys, engaged with us, and so that you know that we're still around, because we definitely do still plan to come back in September. We just need a little bit of a break during August, because it is a busy time. Kids are going back to school. You got vacations to plan, and we got some projects going on around here. But we're going to come back better than ever, I think. So, you guys got anything else you want to announce?
Nope.
No,
I think we're good.
All right, folks. So, like I said, we will see you guys September 12th back here, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we hope that everybody has a great August. And, don't forget, tell your friends about the show. They got plenty of time to get caught up. The podcast is always out there and up to date. So check out our website, ptrradio.com. Who knows? Maybe that'll get a facelift during the month. You just never know what we're going to do with all these hours that we'll have at our fingertips during August. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in, for listening, and for being part of the show. Really appreciate it. Thanks, and we'll see you in a month or so. I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the 8 Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.